Cheddar is not actually yellow naturally. Cheddar is white because it's made from milk, which is naturally white. If you have a yellow cheddar, it's because there's an extract that has been added that is from a seed that comes from South America called annatto. Annatto is all natural, it doesn't hurt you, it does nothing but color the cheese and make it brighter. It's actually really interesting. Most West Coasters see cheddar as yellow. Most East Coast, at least Americans, see cheddar as white. And it's interesting to look at the cultural associations with the original founders of those areas and their cultural backgrounds and why that is. The main story that I know of is around the turn of the century, during the Industrial Revolution. And this would have been on the East Coast. This is when they started making cheese on grand scales, like mass production. This is when they started making cheddars on mass production scale. And okay, so that's when they started making cheddars in large, where they would co-op their milks, because originally cheese was always made with on that original farm, so it was all farmstead, so the milk never left the property. Then around the turn of the century, when industrialization came into play, then they were collecting everyone's milk, and they would make big, large bricks of it, because the ratio of milk to cheese production is 10-to-1. It takes 10 gallons of milk to produce 1 pound of cheese. So you're going through a lot of milk to get a 40-pound brick, which is what they started doing at that time. And so the reason that it started to become yellow is because in the northern, like New York, Wisconsin, Minnesota areas, there were a lot of German and Dutch founders and immigrants, and they were used to Gouda. And Gouda, like rich, deep Gouda, like a Nord-Hollander, Beemster, those are deep, deep, deep yellows, and that comes from the enzymes that are used in that cheese, and they're aged for long periods of time, and so it improves strength in that flavor. So the industrialists recognized that the immigrants were willing to pay more for that dark yellow cheese because they knew it was more expensive and it took more time. So the cheesemakers started adding the additive to cheddar in order to increase the price, in order to make people think that it was a higher quality product than it was.